Good evening. It is showtime. So here we are with our everyday Facebook Live challenge on the mission of 5,000 word bank. Hope you're there with me. If you're not, you can join today. It's never late to join. You just need your notebook, pen, and a matter of 12 minutes every day, and you will not realize where you are and how deep you've gone. Okay, so I'll just briefly tell you I'm Vinita Vora, a coach consultant on a mission to help all those who are dreaming to work, study, or migrate abroad. To do that, you have to qualify an English language proficiency test. And I mainly focus on IELTS, so there are many other exams that you may have to write to prove your proficiency. It could be TOEFL, it could be Duolingo, Pearson, or even through other gateways like you may want to take SAT, you may want to take the GMAT, GRE. Not just that, the drive to learn English doesn't end at international exams. Even at national level, you may have to cut through many exams. And for every exam, English language is the main thing that you need to clear. Not just that, it is not the exams. Why do we think in terms of short term goals? Language learning is a lifelong proficiency, is a lifelong skill. Just add it to your other skills. You complement it with this, and you will see and you will not believe the results that it's going to fetch you. Okay, so here we are on a mission. Presently, I'm doing idioms and how idioms can literally add that pep to your language. Okay, that zip to your language, and they are fun to learn. Also, they make your language interesting. You an interesting talker, an interactor. So I have already crossed 100 idioms. So today I'm going to begin with idiom number 102 to 107. Okay, so I will just start right away. And yes, I will share my screen with you so that you can read it better and you shall know it better. So here we are. And yes, yeah. So we are on the mission, episode 87, idioms number 102 to 107 today. Number one, bloom where you are planted. Now you can guess the meaning. To thrive and grow in the circumstances you are in. So the English synonyms, if you don't use the idiom in your language, you may use English words. They would be flourish, prosper, thrive. And how would you use it? Instead of constantly seeking change, sometimes it is essential to learn to bloom where you are planted. I think it's a wonderful thought. Let's go beyond just the idiom and the meaning. So, just where you are planted, it is where has ordained, and you can bloom there also instead of always looking to change. Why don't we change the circumstances, the environments, instead of we always going for uh, running around of being in the flight mode all the time? Yes, we can do that. Next is your fruit of the labor. Again, you can guess the meaning. It's such a simple writing on the wall. So the reward or result of hard work or effort. And what would be the synonym? It would be rewards, results, or benefits. And how would we use it? After years of dedication to his craft, he finally reaped the fruit of his labor with a successful exhibition. So, anything if you have to do, like you're writing your IELTS exam, if you really slog, if you really work hard, you will get the fruit of your labor in the form of a wonderful band score or your dream band score. And of course, your dream admission or your dream job need being fulfilled, right? So we proceed to the next. In full bloom. Now, again, you can guess the meaning. It's such an obvious one. In full bloom, what does it mean? At the peak of development or beauty. So when you are at your young age, when you're in the spring of life, you're in full bloom of your beauty. Okay, it usually happens. You don't know, realize, but a teenager is the best. Your zeal is there. Your growing part is there. And once you have come of age, you're in full bloom, and you can really do wonders at that. Now turn a deaf ear to. What does turn a deaf ear to mean? There's this one, turn a deaf ear to. It would be like chikna ghada in Hindi. The muhavra would be. Meaning is to ignore or refuse to listen to something. Ignore, disregard, neglect. Okay. So despite the criticism, she chose to turn a deaf ear and continued pursuing her passion for painting. Okay. So the next one is the harvest time. Will be very close to this. Harvest time is when you have worked hard and now it's the time to reap your result or whatever it is. Okay. So the period when results or rewards are reaped after the hard work. So there is a sowing period and there is a harvest time. So to sow the seeds, we did it as an idiom. So you sow the seeds today of hard work and labor. And after a few months, when you finish writing your exam and your result is there, will be the harvest time for you. And what's the synonym? Reaping season, time for rewards. It's a wonderful word. So culmination of your hard work will be in the harvest time. After months of research and planning, it was finally harvest time as the team launched their new product to great success. Then is out of the blue. So out of the blue, you can again guess it, and it's a common one. I'm sure you've been using them. If not, unexpectedly or without anyone, out of the blue, something happens to you, and then you take action. Suddenly, unexpectedly, without warning. The job offer came out of the blue, but it was a pleasant surprise for Sarah. Next is silver lining. Again, this is a beautiful one. Silver lining, every dark cloud has a silver lining, meaning something positive in a negative situation. Positive aspect or the bright side or the hopeful outcome. Despite losing his job, he found a silver lining in starting his own business. Okay. So despite losing the job, what does he find? He started finding. Now, I am going to make a story using these synonyms, and you will pay attention and you will see if you can understand them, if you can follow them. So, are you all in for it? Let me go ahead with it. Okay. So, what is it? Yeah. Priya had always dreamt of studying abroad. I'm sure many of you will be having this dream too. So Priya had always dreamt of studying abroad, and scoring well on her IELTS was a ticket to a prestigious university in England. But as the exam date loomed, crippling anxiety, textbooks mocked her from a desk. Okay, practice tests yielded discouraging results, and her friends already packed seemed miles ahead. And then what happens? Seemed miles. Priya felt like a wilting flower in a barren land, far from the blooming where she was planted. Are you getting it? So why does she feel like a wilting flower in a barren land, far from the place where she was planted? Okay. Now, next, what happens? One evening, I'll be there. Yeah. So what happened? One evening, amidst a particularly intense study session, her grandmother entered. Sensing Priya's despair, she sat beside her, a gentle smile on her wrinkled face. Priya, she began. Sometimes the seeds of success take time to sprout. So I'm using the past ones. You've been working so hard, the fruits of your labor will show. Her grandmother's words, a balm to Priya's worries, were a much needed reminder. Priya decided to stop comparing herself to others and focus. And what will you do then when you're not comparing yourself to others? obviously you'll focus on your own self. In fact, comparison, if you take it in the right spirit, it motivates you. But if it puts you down, if you start feeling envious or jealous or whatever, then it is your undoing. Don't do it. Then you're better off alone. Okay. So now she decides to focus on her own progress. She joined a local IELTS preparation group, finding solace in the shared struggle. So when you're in a group, what happens is the community vibe. It's the community drive, and that gives you the right. Once you have a right tribe, you get a beautiful vibe, and yes, results. It results in your drive. Okay, so there we are. Fine. So the supportive environment helped her to overcome her fear of mistakes slowly, like a flower. Finally receiving sunlight, Priya began to blossom. Her confidence grew and her scores improved steadily. And then, out of the blue, disaster struck. A week before the exam, she fell sick. Devastated, Priya contemplated postponing the test. But her grandmother's words echoed in her mind. There's always the silver lining, Priya. She had said. Determined, Priya adapted her study plan, focusing on online resources from her sick bed. Exam day arrived, and despite lingering weakness, Priya approached the test hall with newfound resolve. The hours flew by in a blur of concentration. As she emerged, a wave of relief washed over her. She had done her best, and that was all that mattered. Are you liking the story? And then, weeks later, the result arrived. Priya stared at the screen, her heart pounding. A wide grin broke across her face. She had achieved a band score that would secure her place at a dream university. The harvest time for her relentless efforts had finally arrived. Priya, once a wilting flower, now stood tall and in full bloom, a testament to the power of perseverance, never say die spirit, and the wisdom of blooming where you are planted. So you get it? So enough for today. So happy learning. Practice them using in your language. See, your language becomes so interesting, and it adds a special frizz to your language, whether you speak or you write. But practice and then use. First practice, 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 and then implement, 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 and you will be there. You will not recognize when you have a big bank of words at your disposal. Happy learning. I'll see you again.